How y'all doing today? It's season 1, episode 6. The Time Is Now podcast. Richard Moore Jones, Willie Clifton. Comment down below anything you got to say. Today we talking about why comparison is dangerous. How you doing today, Mr. Willie?
I'm great. Yourself?
Doing good, man.
I was thinking about that topic. It just hit me right in the face. But comparison is done every day.
Man.
It's amazing how we compare to better, worse, all this good stuff.
Everything. We compare ourselves of how we look to somebody else.
Yeah.
When we didn't even choose who we was born to. How you gonna compare yourself to somebody else and you
exactly. Man,
come on, man. You gotta just
leave.
That's how deep it gets. That's the crazy part, you know?
It does.
Okay. So social media makes it easy to compare our lives with others. Okay? How comparison steals joy and confidence.
Well,
so you was born before social media, so talk real quick about that.
And for my point, well, when it wasn't that comparable, we're looking at so many things to compare with, how this look, how that look, and they look like this and that, I learned to, now, I wasn't always, because I'd probably be a nervous wreck, probably, if I didn't know God. But I learned from that, hey, I don't compare myself to nobody. I know who I am. And Saturday, a lady was talking to us about looking at some stuff we're looking at, and she was asking me a few questions about myself. I said, I'm comfortable with me. I know who I am. I know I am through Christ.
Yeah.
I know who I am.
100%.
And you know what? I used to think, well, I have to do this. I got to do it like that. No, you can't keep up with everything. It's too much to keep up with.
Come on,
man.
now.
You know what? Because somebody can have this, they could be doing it this way, this day, come out, man, it's just one day at a time with me. I mean, I'm grateful, but as far as comparing, do you ever worry about that, comparing?
Man, so, when I think of comparison and they talk about social media, so in 2026, everything is on the internet.
It is.
If I try to compare it, right now, everything being on the internet, today's when it wasn't on the internet, people was less worried about what's going on in the world because they didn't even know.
That's the whole key.
You get what I'm saying? Now they say it's more going on, it's more going on. I don't believe it's more going on. I just believe it's more information get pushed in your face.
It's more information.
You know what I'm saying? It's more information at your fingertips to where all you do is scroll and it's just gonna pop up. Back in the day you had to search for it.
Exactly.
The news you had to go buy a newspaper.
To get it.
You know what I'm saying? Now you just click open the social media, no matter what platform. But they're going to tell you everything.
More than, oh man, I don't want to hear that. and it's so overwhelming. And then people are trying to bring more and more and more.
Come on now. And then so we're going to talk about the comparison, what this person got to that person got. Even if it's looks, how they walk, talk, thinking, act, call, phone, hat, clothes, shoes, shirt, you know what I'm saying? Place they live at. We always comparing ourselves with somebody else, not even knowing what they go through to have that, what they went through to get that,
And I'm just looking at some of the stuff that you just roll it out there over there. Golly, it's just like, I didn't even look at it like that. But I do know, I know we compare, I know we look at how, what I might have, what they don't have, kind of car we drive, we look at that. And I do worry about it a little bit. I do try to keep up. I'm a little laid back now because of where I am. I mean, we now are in a smaller town. I was in the city growing up, and that makes it harder too. In the city, big cities, like I grew up in Houston. I was born out here, but I grew up in Houston, and it's always somebody that can come through with a new ride, a different flavor, a different color, you know, just fix it up, you know. And if you are in a certain neighborhoods, you know, you have to stay. You think you do is stay up with the Joneses, you know.
Yeah,
so
can't let the neighbor out.
Right, you can't. You know what?
Yeah.
Then they get something to bring home, and you're looking at, you know, like, man, I can get that. Yeah. So it is a lot of comparison out there. I just don't let it bother me. And that might be why now, because I'm not in the city, you know, Houston anymore, and I'm laid back, countryside, you know.
Yeah, and see, I'm gonna be honest, you know, I'm not in the city. I wasn't born in the city. I grew up and raised in the country. Right. But even when I go to the city, I see that it might be like, oh, that's cool looking. Yeah. But I'm not being like, man, I wish I had that, you know. You know, if I got it in my life to get it, I'm gonna get it. If I don't, I'm not gonna get it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I can't be comparing myself and wishing I had this, wishing I had that, you know. I mean, if I want to get it, I'm gonna try my best to get it. But if I don't want it, I mean, if I do want it and I can't get it, I can't be mad at that person for having it. You know?
No doubt.
Okay.
No doubt.
So the scripture we talking about today, Galatians 6, verse 4 and 5. Each one should test their own actions. Then they can take pride in themselves alone, without comparing themselves to someone else. For each one should carry their own load. Huh?
Yeah. Huh? Now, you should, but like what you said, we was talking about, some people load themselves down. I don't look to do that now. I mean, and with my wife, she's not one that I might push something on her. Say for instance, she got ready to get a car right now. I'll probably, and that's not gonna say she's gonna go get one, and because she don't care, she'll roll over that one till the wheel roll off. I just know her. But if she got ready to go get something, I probably would want something like you drive. You know, not comping off of you, but I would probably get a something like that, SUV or something like that. And I just thought about that and I looked at you and I was looking at it, I said something like that. But it's not getting it because you have, it's getting it because that would be the kind of vehicle that I would like, you know. But sometimes people be comparing. They do this. Well, you got one like this, I'm gonna get one like this. And that's no reason you got that. You know, it's for your family. Make sure, you know, you accommodate everybody that's in there. So
100%. Okay, so when I see this, each one should test their own actions. So people want to live good, you know. They want to go to these fly restaurants. They want to do this, do that on a McDonald's salary. You know?
Really?
Or they want this and that, but sit at home all day. You know, they want this and that, but talking about they don't want to sweat to get it. They don't want to work no long hours. They don't want to go outside the norm. You know, so and so that give me, you know, people ask me, I know somebody that asked me one day, they said, man, what you do for a living? I said, I work for myself. They gonna say, what they said, man, so what you, and they work a job. They said, what you gonna do if something happened to your business? I said, well, the worst case of worst is I gotta get a job. I said, man, if I just be where you at, basically. So that's why I take a risk, because I don't gotta go to that side to get a job. That's the worst case of worst in my scenario. You know what I'm saying? So me testing my own actions, I'm willing to sacrifice, you know, not being able to depend on a consistent check, you know, and depending on God to be able to lay stuff, you know, in my bank, you know, in my situation to be able to make it happen and take care of my family.
Correct.
You know? So go ahead.
But I like that though. But you know what were they comparing it to? The kind of profession you have will never run out.
Well, no, it's just because, you know, a lot of people scared to have their own business because they scared that it might fail and stuff, you know. But even if it do fail, you got a job right now. You just gonna have to get a job, just like you already got a job, man. You know, so it's the worst case of worst is getting a job. But how can you lose, you know?
But it's not gonna fail. The thing is, like, I would look at, and I look at even my business too. you know, is making sure I don't go overboard. You know, even if I get out there, I don't go and spend, you know, extra. If I catch a good job or something come up, you know, I normally invest back into it. You know, I just go invest, but I won't go and go buy something extravagant. I won't go try to get a bigger house or something like that. No.
Okay. And so when it say without comparing themselves to someone else, for each one should carry their own load. I think about when you do got a job, right? Say you work for a company that make $1 million a month. Okay, that company probably paying you $25 an hour, but you got to think about that company that's making $1 million a month. What bills they have? You get what I'm saying? Just because they making $1 million a month don't mean they walking around with $1 million in their pocket.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? So the more money you make, the more money you gotta spend when it come down to business. Okay? So we always try to compare, like if somebody with you, they see, oh, look how much money he just made, but he only giving me this little bit. Bro, you don't even understand what I gotta pay to keep this operation running. You know? So they comparing of what they did, like, man, what you do, drive the truck, man, what you do, help load this, what you do, strap this down, what you do, strip this down, you know. But think about everything I did. I got the job, I got the equipment, I got this, I did the labor, everything. But they only comparing it to what they did and what they see, you know. But they not taking in the act of their own actions. You ain't nothing but a person to help. You is something, but you just here to help the job get done. You get what I'm saying? Without me, you wouldn't even be doing this job. You get what I'm saying?
They never think of it like that.
They never do, but they not testing their own actions.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Okay. So point one, where do you find yourself comparing your life the most? Success, relationships, appearance, or something else? And how does it affect your mindset?
Okay, that's a good one. You know what? Now, a person can get caught with that one. Success. If somebody came along and you explain to them what you do, they would say, "Oh man, you make that kind of money." Because sometimes you do make good licks. Yeah. Sometimes you say, "Man, you go out, you might do a job and can pay you $10,000 one week." Okay, a person said, "Man, $10,000 a week. I don't make $10,000 in 3 months." So they would think that your job is man, how great that is. So that is looking at your success, but they're not looking at everything that you put into.
100%.
Right? They're not.
Yeah. Think about all the times when I'm making zero. Think about times I made zero.
Yeah.
Think about times I went negative. You get what I'm saying? They don't think about that. They just think about right here, what's going on right now.
That's that comparison thing.
Yeah. That's why it's so dangerous, man. Okay. Where do you find yourself comparing your life the most?
I don't compare my life now. I do, because I don't have nobody to compare it to.
Okay.
I look at, it's a blessing for me to be here. I look at, if God didn't say the same, I wouldn't be here. And I don't have nobody to measure up to. I mean, I look back, and you know who I do look at? I look at the people I grew up with, and I see where they are. Okay. You know, and that might be comparing, but I since that question came up, I'm looking at that.
Exactly.
But
that's what we're here for.
Right.
All the people that's
right.
They might be comparing themselves, so they gotta check themselves.
Okay, and I see, you know, one of the things that I looked at, young people and everybody today, you might think everybody want to go with that big job. Everybody want that big one.
100%.
You know what I mean? We go to school to get education, to land that big one.
Okay.
But this is what we have to look at. And even when I came through, I was looking at, man, people looking at, you know, businesses, you know, they was looking at what you're going to get in. The biggest thing I think most people could get was a insurance salesperson,
Yeah.
you know, a banker. You know, they really ain't gonna let a person off in there. Now looking at people today, they can't really get into even if you get a degree, you know, you got to get your master's almost to even make the kind of money you make. You know, so it's not saying comparing. It's about doing what you do. I mean, and your integrity, your desire. So I feel like I can do whatever I set my mind to.
Okay.
And I go for it, you know.
Okay, so basically you saying that you don't compare because if you want it, you go get it.
Go get it. You mentioned that yourself.
Yeah, and
said
that's the mindset to have, you know. I mean, when I used to listen to rap music, you know, they'll be in the videos, boy, they got these clean cars, they got this money phone with they flexing $100,000 just cash right there. I remember one time a dude had millions, like, bruh, you know, if I had that, you know, now it's like, why do I even want to do that? If I had that, you wouldn't see me doing that. You know what I'm saying? You won't see me doing that with it.
You know what? Just like that made me think about right now. He's going through some changes. Now we're on social media. I don't want to put that Holyfield. I'm not Holyfield, but the boxer here. What's his name? Mayweather. Mayweather.
Yeah, Floyd Mayweather.
Floyd.
Okay.
You know, he was doing that. Now he was, he was showing his money, make this, make that. But what he forgot, he wasn't paying his taxes. I guess in his mind he was going to get back to it. He didn't let it build up. So they came after him. And they came after him at the wrong time where his money ain't being, you know.
Man, hold on. I want to stop you right there. Mr. Will, that man probably still got a whole
He probably
lot
do.
of money.
He probably
you know,
do.
I mean, how much they come after him for?
Well, at one time they were looking at about 230 million.
Yeah, he probably got
that
830 million somewhere. You get what I'm saying?
I bet he does.
But see, right there, we sitting here looking at that little situation thinking, oh, that hurt him. Man, that probably was 10 cents to him. You know what I'm saying?
Probably.
For sure. Because we don't know the insider. So, you know, in that, we can't look too much deep in that because we never know. We on the outside looking in, you know. We'll probably never even know the truth. You know what I'm saying? Okay, and so how does it affect your mindset? What you just explained, basically, you know, how you try to compare to people or you don't compare to people. What you explained is it don't affect your mindset because what you want, you gonna go get. You gonna do whatever you can to get it, and if you can't, you gonna get the best that you can.
Right.
Okay.
Right. And I learned, you know, I wouldn't go try even if I can qualify stuff right now. But you know, you got to know your climate. You have to know what season everything is in. Yeah. You know, you wouldn't just go out there and get something right now. I mean, it's stuff that people losing a lot right now.
Yeah.
So
for sure.
I wouldn't go get a $1 million house if it was just laid out. You know, say, hey.
You still wouldn't want it.
I still wouldn't want it.
You'd be like, nah, man.
Because I'm just saying, the upkeep of it.
You spending $20,000 a month on the low end.
Right.
Okay. So point 2, in what ways has social media distorted your perception of what a good or successful life looks like?
You know, you're thinking about that now.
Okay.
It is showing people a lot. I mean, that's why I just talk about the homes, because we look at the homes because of social media out there, people putting out big homes, and you know, you got, like you said, the rappers. You got football players, basketball players, all these guys. You know, some of these guys 3 or 4 homes. You know. Yeah. You know, so
every city they go to,
got a home.
they ain't getting no Airbnb, no hotel. They going at their house. Yeah.
You know, really living it up. So, you know, we can look at that. Now that's looking at it and saying, man, oh man, look. And I have no lie. I have looked at that and said, man, I would love to have a house like that. Yeah. But that's looking at that. And some of the things, and I'll go back like a lot of these players and what they actually you know, will get involved with the upkeep. Some of the maintenance on their places, $300-some thousand a year, just to keep the maintenance up.
100%.
Come on, I would $300,000 a year to keep my yard cut.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah.
Oh man, that's a salary for some people.
Yeah.
So I mean,
so in what ways have looking at that before knowing that part, has it distorted, you know, the perception good or successful look like? Like when you saw that at first, before knowing the upkeep, because a lot of people don't even think about that. They just think, man, that house so cool. I wish I could live in it. Yeah. But before that, when you first seen stuff like that without thinking about the upkeep, what did it do to you? Like, did it have you like, man,
you know what I
said?
So bad? You know what I said? Me personally, gonna talk about me. I was glad to see people, you know, young people. I mean, and I'm talking about people of color. I put it like that. I was glad to see them do that because when I came up, there wasn't a lot of young people, successful people could go out and get it because they didn't think it could be done. But there's a lot of people now getting those places and they can't afford them, but they get them. I mean, they reckon their brains out. They can keep it, but you know, I know they go for it.
Yeah. Just to say that they did it.
Just to say they did it.
Yeah.
Right.
And so, you know, even to just add on what I said a while ago, you know, I just used to watch that stuff and be like, man, I want it so bad. Man, I want it so bad. You know, that's before I had as many kids as I, you know, got now. You know, it used to be me by myself. I used to be like, man, I can't wait to have a 10-bedroom house.
Right,
girl, what you gonna do? Run to every room?
Right.
You got five bathrooms. The dust just building up over there.
Man,
you know?
we got a 3. How often do 3-bedroom house? I'm trying to see how often do I go in them.
Right. Even with 3, huh?
Right.
You know, if you ain't got no reason to, you ain't
right.
got
No I have to think about that. Do I even go in them?
Yeah.
Sometimes I don't.
I'm telling you.
Not within a whole month. You know.
Okay.
Yeah.
So point 3, what practical steps can you take to focus on your own growth and purpose instead of measuring yourself against others? This is a good one for y'all right here.
Yeah.
One more time. What practical steps can you take, you, me, him, to focus on your own growth and purpose instead of measuring yourself against others? So what practical steps can they take? You know, I can give them many. You might gotta cut out social media for a while. Look at your own plate. Quit looking at everybody else and what they got going because you know you might be in a relationship. You see this dude taking his woman to all these extravagant places. You know, now you looking at your husband. You know, the woman looking at her husband like, man, why he don't take me to this?
You're right.
Not knowing that this dude probably scamming or doing the most craziest stuff in order to be able to afford this. You know, her man might not take her on them extravagant places, but he do spend time with her. They might not go to Benny Hunter's, but they gonna go to, after eat restaurant every now and then. You know, good enough in their budget. You know, but if social media didn't exist, if they stayed off social media, they would be content.
You know what? I didn't ever look at that. Now that's a good one.
Yeah.
That, you know, now I don't. You know what? Good one.
One more thing.
Go ahead.
You know why these females want a Birkin bag? Because they see all these people talking about I need a Birkin bag. I need a Birkin bag. You know why they want red bottoms? Because they see everybody. They got red bottoms. Why I can't get a man that got red bottoms? Man, can you even afford it? You know what I'm saying? A Birkin bag costs more than your rent for a whole year, but you want a Birkin bag. You know what I'm saying? So the best thing they could do, my advice, turn off your social media. If you gonna watch social media, put on something positive. Stop looking at all these things that look good. You know what I'm saying? Put all these things that is good. You know what I'm saying? What you got to tell them about that?
It's beautiful. I love that. I just talked to a guy today. I haven't seen him in a long. Hadn't seen him, you know, even since high school. And I was chopping it out. Man, hey, I remember you used to be. The man was always confronting me about something. Man, what's up? What a punch in? I said, man, nothing punch you upside your head, right? But he said, man, you know, I don't even remember that. I said, that's a man. That's it. I said, I thought
he was a little aggressive.
Right.
Hold on. I remember that.
Boy, I remember that. I just gonna have to get you upside your head. Now I told him, I said, man, I seen you on social media. He said, you didn't see me on social media. If you saw me, somebody might posted me on there. I don't go to it. And that reminded me, we just talked to him today. He said, I don't do it.
Come on.
So again, I do go. I look at television. I look at selective stuff. Sometimes I'm like, she said don't look at that. But I might. And then she like crime show. I don't like that. But I do.
Like CSI?
She love it. A doctor show or stuff like that. She gonna look at that. She gonna do it, you know. But looking at social media in the sense of seeing how some people act, and she'll say real quick, I will look at people's salary. I just wonder sometimes what kind of money they make. Yeah. Not that they gonna give me something, and not that I'm gonna.
You just want to see.
I just want to see how they live, you know, and not try to get there because and sometimes I question myself: am I trying to go for the gusto? Should I go even further, or I try to get more, whatever? But I'm comfortable though. Yeah, I'm comfortable. I have to make up my mind to say, you know what?
So hold on, are you looking it up because you're trying to get there, or you just be wondering?
I be wondering. I'm not looking it up. I'm not. Nah.
We talk about why comparison is dangerous now.
It's dangerous. It's dangerous. We're right. It is dangerous. It's dangerous. I agree with that.
Okay.
But I don't go for that. You know. I mean, and these are good things that, you know what, I think people look at, because again, a person might look at, you know, they might say, I didn't get a degree. Or comparing themselves to a person that had it, and they might not be making the money. That's people got degrees and not making any money.
Not at all.
Right.
The people that's at the top, they ain't go to no college. You know? What is that? Basically.
So I mean, and people say that, they might say, man, I should have been a doctor. I should have been.
And see, if you want to be a doctor, you got to go to college. You want to be a lawyer. You want to be a nurse.
Yeah.
There's so many jobs that you might could get, or even start your own business that you got to go to college for. You know, but you don't got to go to college to be successful.
No, you don't.
Please don't think just because you at your age and you feel like it's too late to, you know, have a good life. If you didn't go to college, you can still be successful.
Yes. Yes.
In your own way. Don't be comparing it to other people's success. Because if you do, here you go. I should have just did that. No.
Yeah.
No.
Right.
Your own way. What is success to you? If you need to, turn off your phone, put it upside down, you know. Even, you know how they say, if somebody doing something bad in a relationship, they always put their phone upside down.
Yeah.
You put your phone upside down because your phone building your wrong relationship. You building the wrong relationship in your head, comparison to everybody else that's on that phone. All the stuff you see, you be like, man, I want that. Get what's successful to you.
Yeah. I like that. I like that.
So comparison will drain you if you let it. It shifts your focus from purpose to performance, and you'll never win that game because you're measuring your real life against someone else's highlight reel. Boy, I like that one right there. Because listen, every time you see people's success, don't think they successful every day. They all got downfalls. We all got down. Nothing in the world go right 24/7.
Yeah, it doesn't.
It ain't gonna always go right.
Right. I like that. That's a whole nother subject.
That's why I was gonna stop right there.
Yeah. But no, it's good. It's good. But that's deep right there.
The goal isn't to ignore growth. It's to measure it the right way. Who you were yesterday versus who you're becoming today. You know, I always look every day. If you get 1.1 millimeter better, you doing good.
You doing good.
If you get 0.1 centimeter better, you doing good. Long as you ain't going back, you know, but sometimes you do gotta go back to start over. We gotta hit that reset button. But as long as you growing mentally, physically, spiritually, emotionally, you growing at some point, you doing okay.
Yeah.
You got anything to add to that?
I agree, that's 100%, because, you know, again, now just think about that. If you don't have the car that you want, but you have a car.
Who it says people ain't got no car?
You don't have a car.
Come on now.
If you don't have the home you want, but you have a home.
People that's sleeping under the bridge right now as we speak. Got tents in the woods right now as we speak.
If you're not making the money you want, but you're making it.
It's people that ain't making no money.
Right.
Huh? It's people that's sitting here with a sign asking you to, asking for work.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Asking for a spare change.
Spare change.
Spare change.
Huh?
So, I look at now where I'm at. And grateful.
Gotta be.
I thank God every day from where I come from, you know, from what I can say, and I can feel comfortable about myself. Not that, you know, I successfully, you know, went through a career in one field, and I retired at that. And today, there are other things that I look at, other things I get involved with. I look at saying to myself, at this point, I don't want to expose myself to too much stuff, because sometimes if you get into too much, you know, it's a train wreck.
I got you.
If you don't know what you're going to do, don't jump into it.
Don't do it.
Because it costs to do everything.
Everything.
If then you get into, you can go pursue a new career, and everything that you pursue, it costs you to pursue it, to invest in it, to do whatever. But if you don't understand it, don't do it.
Don't do it.
Tell a person, don't do it if you don't have something.
You might not like what you're doing, but if it's working, keep working. Hey, if it's working, keep on pushing.
Keep going.
Okay, so comparison is dangerous, man. We want all y'all to know we all been there before, but please stop comparing yourself to everybody else.
No doubt.
Get what is good to you. Okay, next week, same time, we talking about how hard season shape strong people. You gotta go through something in order to get something, just like the song say. Okay, God get the glory. That's the end of that. See y'all next week.
Peace.